Hey there, welcome to class. This is going to be a fun full body vinyasa flow practice. I'm currently in Austria at the Bio Hotel Bergkristall and I'm having this beautiful view of the Alps. It's a beautiful, cozy, rainy day, so perfect for me to film and create some more content for you. Thanks so much for joining me. We will begin today in a seated position, and in fact we will start with some breath work, Nadi Shodhana, pranayama. I will guide you through everything, it's all good, and we will start to move. So get yourself set up, get comfortable. You can sit on the heels, you can also sit on a pillow or anything else to elevate the hips, especially if you tend to have the legs fall asleep, then it might help to elevate the hips a little bit more. Sit nice and tall, close your eyes for a moment and just arrive and breathe. Notice the air coming in through the nose and out through the nose. Get ready for the practice today, knowing that whatever happened today, it's all good, it already happened. And if you need to deal with something that happened today, then you can do it later. But for this class, just for this video, give yourself permission to fully focus on you. Everything else can wait. Find your connection to the ground, feel that connection. And while you're staying connected to the earth, feel the breath, how it's uplifting and pulling you up, bringing you in a more upright position. For Nadi Shodhana, we will use our right hand, our right thumb and our right ring finger. You can connect the right pinky finger and the right ring finger. With the right thumb we will close the right nostril, with the right ring finger the left nostril. You will start by exhaling all the air out first. Then you close the right nostril with the right thumb. Start to inhale through the left nostril. At the top you switch, close the left nostril, open the right, exhale out through the right side. Same side, inhale on the right. At the top you switch, close the right nostril, open the left and exhale. Same side, inhale on the left. At the top you switch, close the left side, open the right, exhale out. Inhale right. Switch, exhale through the left. Just keep going on your own. Again, inhale on the left. And basically every time you reach that inhale through one nostril, that's the time when you switch and exhale through the other nostril. Just keep going, just keep breathing. One nostril at a time. Just let the breath flow without controlling it much, without lengthening or shortening the breath or breathing deeper. Just let it come in and out. And some of you comment that they have issues or difficulties breathing through one nostril, that particularly one nostril is kind of clogged or tight and they can't really breathe through it. Maybe that's you. Thanks for writing a comment and asking us about it. We will link a video below on Jala Neti, which is kind of like a sinus cleanse or a nasal rinse you can do. Maybe it will help you. Let's do a few more rounds. I will join you. Make sure you sit tall, ground down, but then rise up through the breath. Keep breathing. Let's do one more round. Slowly finishing up. Finish up by exhaling through the left nostril. Slowly find your way onto your back. Keep the knees bent for now. Now bring your hands underneath your hips. The palms are facing down. Extend the legs up towards the ceiling. Straighten those legs. Nice and slow, lower the legs down. Keep the legs straight. Lower as low as you can, and then lift back up. Do your best to keep your lower back on the ground the whole time. We're moving really slow here. We're not pumping out the reps. We're trying to move very mindfully, feeling what's going on in the body, what areas have to work, where there is some resistance, where is some tightness. Just keep it going. Keep the breath nice and soft. There's no particular rhythm with lifting and lowering the legs. Just keep that breath going. Let's do 5 more. Last 2. And last one. Very good. Bring the feet down to the ground. For bridge pose, press into the heels, into the feet, lift your hips up. Come more onto the shoulder blades if that feels good for you. And pull the heels back and up towards the shoulders. So you engage more of the back side of the body. It's very important to keep the core, the abs strong and working, as well as the glutes. And in general, we're not really using our back body much, but this bridge pose hopefully helps a little with that. Let's take 3 more breaths here. We're starting nice and easy and slow before we continue with our flow practice. And release down. Very good. Rock forward, find boat pose. Point the feet forward. Bring the knees together as good as you can. The shins are parallel to the ground. Reach your arms forward. Lengthen out from the hip, from your foundation, from the ground, up through the spine. Now connect your fingertips. Rotate over to the right side. Bring the hands close to the ground. And over to the left, close to the ground. Over to the right, the same height as your knees. Over to the left. Over to the right, now the same height as your head, and to the left. Let's reverse the whole thing. Top right, middle left, middle right, bottom left. Now we're finding a rhythm. Bottom right. One more round. Bottom left, middle right. Without rushing it, keep breathing, keep moving. Middle left, bottom right, top right, top left. Top right, reverse it, last one. Middle left. Keep the feet lifted, middle right. Bottom left. Bottom right. Beautiful job. Back to boat pose. Just 2 more breaths here. Lengthen out through the spine. If the body starts to shake, it's all good. Stay with the breath. And release. Cross your ankles, roll over the knees, find tabletop. Come onto all fours. Stay on your toes. Start to rock forward and back. Bring the shoulders as far forward as they can go. We're taking a moment here to warm up the wrists. Just going forward and back, you want to feel this in the wrist, so you need to go maybe in your body really far forward. Last two. Last one. Very good. Back to neutral. The fingertips are pointing backwards towards the knees. Keep the arms straight. At least do your best. Stay on the toes. Send the hips back. Let the palms lift up. Breathe into the forearms. We're stretching not only out the wrist, but also the fingers and the forearms. If you want to go deeper, you can bend one arm and then the other. You kind of rock side to side. Very good. Sit on the heels. Try to stay on the toes. Shake out the hands. Let's meet in plank pose. Your favorite pose, I know. Mine too. Awesome. Tuck your tailbone. Engage the core. Push the ground away. Externally rotate the arms. Look down between the fingertips. Keep the breath nice and soft. I know you could stay here forever. We'll just stay for 3 more breaths. Nice and slow through the nose. If you at any point need to set the knees down, of course, go ahead. It's all good. Just stay with the breath. Let's come into a side plank on the right side. Stack the left foot on top, the left arm is reaching up. Keep externally rotating the right upper arm. Keep that right hip lifted, that bottom hip. Now bring your left hand onto the left hip. Lower the right hip down. We're doing a couple of hip dips. Lift the hips back up. For 10, 9, 8, nice and slow. 7, 6, keep pushing the hips forward a little bit more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to plank pose. Breathe. If the knees want to come down, set them down. It's all good. You're not a bad person, only because you need to set the knees down. It's not about the physical, although this is at times strong, especially right now. It's about the breath and staying focused and calm within. The voice in your head, you want to quiet that voice by focusing more on the breath. Side plank on the left. Reach your right arm up. Press into the inside part of your left hand. Externally rotate the left upper arm. Right hand goes on top of the right hip. Lower the hips down and lift. 10, 9, no rush. 8, 7, keep breathing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Back to plank pose. Those side plank hip dips have been my favorite lately in my own practice, so I wanted to share that with you, of course. Let's shift forward, come high onto the toes, bend your arms, chaturanga. Hold. 5, 4, keep the elbows in. 3, 2, and 1. Press up, plank pose, downward dog. Send the hips up and back. Arrive here. Move in your down dog, walk your dog. If you need to, keep the knees bent if you want to. Breathe nice and slow. Let's lift the right leg up and back for 3-legged dog. Straighten out through both legs. Keep moving the chest towards the left thigh. Come high onto your left toes. Exhale, right knee to the left armpit. Bring it up and back, 3-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, right knee to the chest. Hold it there. Keep breathing. Just push the ground away. Lift the knee higher up into the chest. Start to flex the right foot. Slowly step the foot between the hands. Low lunge, set the left knee down, but stay on your left toes. Reach your hands back behind you towards the left heel. Open the heart, open the chest. Send the hips forward and down. Keep the glutes engaged. Maybe look up to the ceiling, maybe not, it's all good. And release for half splits, nice and slow. Straighten your right leg. Heel toe the foot forward if you need to. Lengthen out through the spine on a deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward and down over your right leg. Stay here for 3 more breaths. Keep a micro bend in your right knee. Gently pull the right hip back. The right toes are pointing towards your head. And really no one cares how deep you can go in this pose. As long as you're feeling this in the back side of your right leg, it's all good. Stay with the breath. You're doing fantastic. Rebend the right knee. Plant the right foot down. Shift forward. Warrior 3 is where we meet. The left foot floats up, as well as your hands, your upper body, hands to the heart. Reach forward through the spine and back through the left leg. Lower your left hip more down. Slowly and gently bring the shoulder blades more together on the back to stay nice and active here. If your right leg is bent a little bit or a lot, that's perfectly fine. If you can straighten it, also okay. Just find that variation that works well for you. Keep the breath going. Rise up for tree pose. Bring the left foot inside the right thigh. Hands to the heart. Lately I've also been really enjoying tree pose because not just for the balancing part of it, but it's a really nice hip opener. So you can push the hips forward, at the same time pull the left knee back. This in my body feels really nice to open up the hips in a way that not many poses do it for me. And perhaps it feels very good for you too. If not, then just stay here with the balance, enjoy, breathe. Now to release, extend the left leg forward. Keep both legs straight. Bring the hands down by your sides. Notice if you're leaning back a lot to balance here, try to lean more forward so that the left leg and left hip flexor actually has to work a bit more. Breathe through it, pull the lower belly in, find more length from the tailbone up the back side of your body up to the ceiling. Last deep breath in. On your exhale, swing the left leg back nice and slow, half moon. Open the hips up, left hip over the right. Right hand down, left arm up. Stack the left hip over the right. Reach that left heel back more. If you want to lift that right hand up off the ground, lift your upper body higher up. Very good. Breathe. Lengthen out through the spine more. Rotate the upper body to the left. Stay in balance. If you fall out of it, it's all good. Come back in. Don't beat yourself up over it. That's exactly the practice. Stay with the breath. Remain focused, present. It's all good. Last deep breath in. Exhale, step the left foot back. Rebend the right knee. Skandasana. Bend the left leg. Straighten the right. Very good. Wherever you are, however your Skandasana looks, it's all good. We will all set the hips down. So find your way there. For half cow face, cross the left leg over the right thigh. If you can, stack the knees, the left knee over the right. If it's somewhere like this, guess what? It's perfect. Just stay breathing, keep breathing, and we're all doing our best, right? It's all good. Keep that right foot flexed, fold forward. If it's just a little bit, it's perfectly fine. If you go all the way deep, chest down to the floor almost, it's also okay. We're here for the journey inwards. using the poses to evoke some kind of sensation, to bring up some restrictions, challenges, and then we breathe through them and deal with them as they come up. Find the variation that works well for you. I like to grab the outside of the right foot with my left hand. Gives me also a nice stretch on the upper body on the right side. What we're targeting here mostly is the back side of the right thigh as well as the right calf. So the back side or the back line basically of your body, mostly in the lower half of your body. Breathe soft. Slowly release, rise back up. The left foot now goes inside the right knee. Plant that left foot down. Your right hand goes behind you. We're setting up for wild thing. You lift your hips up, reach your left arm up and over your head. Stay light on the left toes, but strong in your glutes to lift the hips up as high as you can. Try to keep that right shoulder right above the right hand. Breathe. 3 breaths here. Find some more length from the left fingers all the way down to the left foot. And release back down. Set the hips down. Very good. Now open the left foot up more, the left leg up more to the left. So we're coming back to Skandasana, to that spider lunge variation. Very good. Maybe heel is lifted. Maybe it's down on the ground. It's all good. Move to the front of the mat for a plank pose. Press into the palms. Step the right foot back. Very good. You can stay here in plank. You can also set the knees down. We're going to do 5 chaturanga planks. Some people call it push-ups. But we keep the elbows in, so we're targeting more the back side of the arms, the triceps. So also some chest involved here, but you want to keep the breath nice and soft. If the knees want to come down, all good, set them down. Shift forward, bend your arms, chaturanga. Plank, chaturanga. Plank, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Let's keep going. Did I say it's 47 more? Well, now you know, 47 more. Of course, just joking. That's a different video or program. We are doing just 2 more. Last one. Press back up. Plank. Downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, let it all go. 2 more on your own. Allow the heart rate and the breath to come back down. Set the knees down, take a break if you need to. Come back to the breath, come back to what's important. Lift your left leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Straighten out through both legs. Keep moving the chest towards the right thigh. Come high onto your right toes, inhale. Exhale, left knee to the right armpit. Bring it up and back, 3-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, left knee to the chest. Hold it there. Push the ground away, lift the knee high up into the chest, but keep the breath soft. Keep the breath going. Start to flex your left foot. Step that foot between the hands. Low lunge, right knee down. Reach your hands back. Make a fist with both hands. Reach the hands towards the right heel. Off the heart, the chest, the collarbone forward and up. Maybe tilt the head back. Keep the glutes strong. Keep the breath going. Release, nice and slow. We're coming into half splits. Heel, toe the foot forward. Fingertips or hands down. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, fold forward and down. The left toes are again flexed, pointing towards you. 3 deep breaths here. Rebend, release. Warrior 3 is where we meet. Plant the left foot down. Shift forward, float up, Warrior 3. Hands to the heart. Reach back through the right heel, forward through the spine, draw the shoulder blades together. Lower the right hip more down. Feel the energy flowing through the body. See what sensations it creates, what this pose creates in your body. And whatever is coming up, you react to it by deepening your breath. Rise up to standing on the left leg for tree pose. The right foot goes inside the left thigh. Hands to the heart. Again, this nice balancing pose as well as a hip opener. Push the hips forward. Pull the right knee back. Stand tall. Release, extend the right leg forward, hands down by your sides. The right foot is flexed. Notice if you're leaning back, lean more forward, lengthen more from the hip up to the back side of your head, or even from the back side of your left heel from the ground all the way up to the head. Last deep breath in. Exhale, bring the right leg back without touching the ground, half moon. Open those hips up towards the right. The right hip stacks over the left. The left hand reaches to the ground. The right arm is reaching up. Set up the hips first. Right hip over left. Reach your right heel back more. And if you decide or want to, lift the left hand up. Lift the upper body higher up. Half moon. Keep the chest open to the right. Keep rotating the chest to the right. Breathe soft. Stare at one point on the ground to balance and focus. Last deep breath in. Exhale, step the right foot back. Skandasana to the right. Bend your right leg, straighten the left. Now wherever you are with your Skandasana, set those hips down. Come into half cow face. The right leg goes over the left thigh. Again, this variation is perfect. Stacking the knees is perfect. There is really no perfect pose. They're all perfect. They're all unique. Your body is unique. And that means you find the variation and the expression that works in your body. You want to make the pose work for the body and not fit the body into a certain shape. That will almost always cause injury. And over time, over the years, I think it will always cause injury. Fold forward and down. I like to again reach to the outside edge of the foot. But you do whatever feels good for you, whatever is accessible, whatever feels good. Today might be different than last week, than yesterday. And it's really all about honoring that and not forcing it into a certain shape. And instead to let go and accept that this is where your body is today. And it's good as it is. 2 more breaths here in silence. Slowly release. We're coming into wild thing. The right foot goes inside the left knee. Your left hand goes behind you. Let's come into wild thing. Stay here for 5 breaths. Nice and quiet. Lift those hips up high, engage the glutes, and breathe. Last deep breath in. Exhale, release the hips down. Very good. Open that right leg up more. Open those hips up. We're coming into Skandasana to the right side. Move to the front of the mat towards the left foot. Plank pose is where we meet. Now in this one you want to bring the hands wider apart as the mat. So we're almost setting up for push-ups as you might know them. And we are doing a few more push-ups, but we're doing a different variation. So as you enjoy this plank, I will show you real quick what we're about to do. We shift over to one side. Don't do it yet, just watch. Hold the plank. And then we go down, close to the right hand, over to the left, push up. I in fact will widen my hands, over to the left, over to the right, and up. So now join me, to the right and down, over to the left hand, push up. To the left and down, over to the right, and up. Just one more, to the right, down, to the left, up, to the left, down, to the right, up. Very good. Tuck your tailbone, engage the core. Come back to a regular plank. Beautiful job. Keep the breath nice and soft. Shift forward, come high onto the toes. Bend your arms, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Hold it here, stay, breathe. Pull the shoulders back. Broaden the collarbones. Keep the glutes super engaged. Shift forward again. Bend your arms, chaturanga. Plank, push up. Downward facing dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees, step or float the feet forward, behind the hands. Lift up halfway to lengthen. Exhale, forward fold, and down. Interlace your hands behind the back, and move your arms and hands up and over your head. Let's stretch out the shoulders here. Keep the legs mostly straight. You want to tuck the chin all the way to the chest. I can't do it because of the microphone. But I encourage you to bring the chin all the way to the chest so the upper body and upper spine really curls into a little ball. As you keep pulling the hands up and over your head and down towards the ground. And again, it doesn't matter how it looks. It's all about how it feels. And it's perfectly fine wherever the sensation is coming up in your body. The function of this one is to stretch the shoulders. But if you don't feel it there, it doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. Your body maybe just doesn't need it there today. It's all good. Release down. Bend your knees. Roll up. Nice and slow through the spine. Take your time to standing. Reach your arms up over your head. Exhale, forward fold. Squat down, bend your knees. Squat all the way down. Beautiful job. Let's set the hips down. Bring the feet together. grab the feet, fold forward and down for butterfly pose. If you want, you can actively reach the knees down towards the floor. You can also just keep it more passive and you just relax here and hang out. Depends on the day. Some days I like to be more passive and some days I like to be very active. Today I will choose to pull the knees more down, and you make a decision for yourself. Slowly release. Rise back up. Use your hands to bring your legs together. Extend the legs forward. And we're coming into a forward fold with the legs extended forward. Now if you know you cannot touch the feet already, then you bend the knees, grab the feet, and then you scoot the hips back. That's better than doing something like this. Okay? I see this a lot, and I recommend everyone to scoot the hips back, grab the feet. And so if you feel the stretch here already, perfect, then you stay there. If you need to straighten the legs fully to feel it, it's also okay. Whatever you need to do to feel the sensation in the body, and to then connect your breath to it, breathe deeper and let the breath guide you, take you deeper on this journey within. We're here for 3 breaths. Before you tuck the chin to the chest, I recommend bringing the forearms down to the ground first, and then the chin to the chest. Slowly release. Rise back up. Let's come onto the back. I know it's so quick, we're not in the poses for so long, and the class is not so long, but you know you gotta go to Patreon for that. There are the really long classes, 60 plus minutes, 90 minutes, all of that good stuff. Let's find happy baby. Grab the outside edges of your feet. If that's not accessible for you, no problem. Grab behind the knees. There's always a way to make the pose work for you. Like I said, we're not trying to force our body into a certain shape. There are other lineages and styles of yoga that do that, and a lot of the people that do that practice get very badly injured. And so, in a modern approach of a movement practice and a yoga asana practice, we want to make the pose fit for our body, and the movement and the shapes, and not the other way around. We're also moving in a way that the body is really designed to move, and not because of some given sequence, for example. This is why sometimes we are all over the place in our classes here on this channel, but I can promise you in our live classes it's even worse. You will not know where front and back is, and you're going to be all over the place, but somehow it feels so good. Hopefully you can join us for a live class someday. Let's stay for a couple more breaths here. If you feel like straightening one leg or the other, go ahead and do that. If you want to do any other pose, that's also perfect. Let's say 5 more breaths here to finish up. And we will then do our well-deserved last final pose, Shavasana. Let's slowly release. Hug your knees into the chest, give yourself a nice hug, and extend the legs forward for Shavasana. Let the feet naturally fall open. For some, the feet fall to the side, to the outside. For some, they fall inward. The palms are facing upwards. Close your eyes. Maybe put a pillow underneath your knees to keep a slight bend in the knees and release some tension from your lower back. It's worth taking the time to set everything up so that you feel comfortable. Let go of controlling your breath, let the breath soften, but you are still observing the breath. You're still curious about the inhale, how the air is coming in, and the exhale, how the air is leaving your body. This is your guide. Follow it, trust it, it's always there. No matter what's coming up physically, mentally, emotionally, on the mat or off the mat, as long as you continue to follow the breath, as long as you continue to stay present with awareness, you will make it through whatever is coming up. All the thoughts, the judgments, the worries, regrets, material things that you think dictate and control your life. They all have form. They are all ego. By shifting into awareness and presence, which is formless, anything of form cannot exist anymore. That means while you are present, while you are in your true self, that pure awareness, the ego, and with it all the worries, doubts, judgments, cannot exist anymore. The more you spend your time in being in this awareness, the more it will grow within you, and the more you will recognize it in everything around you. It's all this pure awareness, presence. It is that connects us all. Thank you very much for practicing with me today. Thank you for practicing being present, being formless, being in awareness. I wish you a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. With love and gratitude, Namaste.